Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 37 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. As you can see, I'm running some juice into my MFSU here, and I'm producing myself a bit more UU matter, up to about 37. You can also hear some baddies hanging out in that chamber room there. Let's get rid of them. Haha. Death to bad guys. So, yep. Popping in here, we can see my fuel is plenty full, and you'll note that the fermenter is not running at the moment because it's full of biofuel, or biogas, biomelange. I forget what it's called, but you get the point. Alright guys, one of the first things I want to do early on in this episode is grab myself about 8 pieces of dark matter. As you can tell, that's a lot of dark matter. And I'm going to throw it in this collector here at the moment. I'm actually going to need to go underground and adjust this items to keep stocked thing. The basic gist here is this collector has been doing an excellent job for me. Very happy with the work. And you can see I've got a bucket load of Mobius fuel. Significant amounts of this stuff. So I'm going to let this stop working on Mobius fuel for now. I'm actually going to steal this redstone out of here. I'm going to place some dark matter in there. I'm going to take the target block out. And dark matter, when placed in a collector, is going to turn into red matter. And you can see how quickly the progress bar is going. And keep in mind, it's still getting its power from the relay here, so takes a long time to upgrade to red matter. Yep, quite a long time. So I'll let that guy run for a bit. I'll just throw that excess junk in there. Looking good. Cover up the floor again. See, look, you can barely even notice that there's any progress been made yet. Collector, dark matter, red matter, long time. So let's get that cooking. And I think today I want to start working on some more industrial craft power generation. I've done some great things with solar panels and geothermals, but I think it's about time that I consider doing some nuclear energy. And of course I'm going to need something to do with all this energy I'm producing. If anybody's been watching my mod spotlights, you might know what I'm planning to do with some energy generation. That's just all the hint I'll give you for now. But why don't I get started prepping for what I'm going to need to do to build a nuclear reactor. And I'll give you guys the heads up now. I'm going to go with a pretty safe nuclear reactor to start off with, but down the line I might want to go a little bit crazy and build some of those really big and really powerful nuclear reactors. But we'll see what happens. So I'm thinking a good place to build this industrial craft nuclear reactor room should probably be underground here. Trying to decide exactly where I want my access point to be. I'm thinking maybe just like right here along this wall. I could have like a neat little tunnel that goes down. And I want to dig sufficiently down. I'm going to get a good ways down there. And I know I'm being dark and all, but there's nothing I can do about that at the moment. But I want to make sure that if there is ever a problem, I'm good enough down underground that I'm not going to have any major issues. Of course, I'm definitely going to be building one of those some protection around the room just to make sure that it's not too crazy. But for now, why don't I grab my jetpack and start clearing out this area. And you guys have seen me clear out a room plenty of times, so I'm probably going to skip that for the most part. But I'm basically going to be using the filler, as you've seen a dozen times, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, sorry, that was probably loud. So why don't I get started doing the filler thing and doing all the clearing out, and then once I have an empty big old room downstairs, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I started clearing out some of the cool area that we've got down there. One of the first things I want to do is build a way to get up and down here, and of course I'm not going to be jumping up and down simply by using the jetpack all the time. I want to build a machine to help me out with that, so I'm requesting a machine block. I'm also going to go to my supplier system down here and grab some of this refined iron. I guess 32 will be enough, but I can always make more if necessary. And what I'm going to do here is make a nice little toy. There we go, called the iron fence. That should be plenty of iron fences. And there's my machine block, just in time. And if I place down my machine block with an iron fence on the top and bottom, and some redstone on the sides, here comes a really fun toy that I like. It's called the magnetizer. Pretty simple system. I'm also going to grab for this guy. How do I want to do this? I need to figure out a good way to power this little machine here. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is, where's my industrial craft goodies? Grab a generator and a bat box, and I'll probably grab some cabling here. I should have some rubber cable right here. That should be good. I won't need nearly that much. and head downstairs, and let's check out how this cool toy works, in case you haven't seen it before. Right here is where I'm going to have my magnetizer be, and it's alright that that's peeking through there for now. Don't love the fact that that happens, but we'll deal with it. And my magnetizer is going to sit right there. Cool. I think this is how I want it to work. And then I need to take my iron fences and run them up here. I'm basically going to count how high this is. Okay, not quite 20, so that's cool. Now, under the ground here, just right down here, I don't want to have like a complicated system for powering this guy, and I won't need to. All I'm going to do is pick up some of this coal, why not, and place down my generator, and my copper tube, my copper wiring, and my bat box. Got all this good stuff ready to roll. Gonna hook up my bat box right underneath it like that, and just copper tubing that runs from the bat box up to the magnetizer. Perfect. And then I'll place down a generator and some copper cabling there. And in my generator, I'm just going to put some Mobius. And that's all well and good. And the Mobius will keep the bat box powered. That Mobius is going to last a long time, and the juice in the bat box should last a good amount of time. We'll see if I ever have any problems with power here, and I might do something a little bit different, but for now that'll work. And the way the magnetizer works is basically as long as you have some kind of metal boots on, like quantum suit boots for example, and you approach this magnetizer rail, as long as it has power, it'll propel you upwards like that, which is pretty great. So let me make sure I can get off of this thing real quick. There we go. And I'm just going to bring this magnetizer railing up a little bit higher, like that. Not bad at all. So let's give it a shot. I can jump down, good to go, and now if I want to get up, I just touch that magnetic rail and I'm off and up, 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 up. Sweet. I like that. Pretty cool. So now let's start clearing out this room down here. So first I bump this guy all the way up to frequency 10, because I know that's not running, and I'm going to activate it and let that guy run for a moment. Then I'm going to run and grab my filler and all the good stuff I need to clear out that room. Filler, landmarks, I'm going to need some glass, which I know I have some in my inventory, perfect. And I have some smooth stone that should cover it. Let's head down there and clear this big old room out. And you guys are familiar with the way I do this usually, is just place down a landmark here. And I guess the real question is, how tall do I want this room to be? You can see I've already mapped that out a little bit. There's some marble down here, which is neat. How tall do I want this room to be? Good question. Let's bump this guy up. I guess that's good. What do you say? I have no idea how tall that is, but why not? And if we activate this, we should have our 4x4 area, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and place down our filler. If I can get out of the way of it. And I'll place in there my clearing recipe. There we go. Clearing. Use stone. I don't think I need to put the stone in there, but why not? And I better pick up my landmarks, because you guys always yell at me if I don't. And then I just need some juice. And there's actually a little cave I found back here behind my little room. I might go exploring that at some point. And why don't I go get the cabling I need for that. So I might actually clear off this whole wall here. That might be kind of neat. So I forgot to grab some power teleport pipes, and I need a golden conductive as well. Might as well put this thing away while I'm done with it. And frequency 10 on this guy. Receiving true. There we go, we're clearing out some land. And boy, is this going to make a big old mess, isn't it? I'm sure it will. So, on account of the fact that we're about to have a big mess made down there, I'm going to let that run. And while that's clearing out, I think it's time to make another equivalent exchange item. That helps with messes. Now, I've been running for an awfully long time here, and it looks like I made one piece of red matter. It should be hanging out here. There it is. Sweet. And you can see we've only made one in the whole time that it's been going. And rest assured, there was some time off camera as well. So, let's get the equivalent exchange recipe guide up. And what I want to make here is this guy, the black hole band. He is a cool little toy. So I need some string, 2 dark matter, and one of those iron bands. And as you remember, the iron bands aren't too hard to make. So let's go over here and grab ourselves some string. Not a terribly complex recipe. And let's see, do I have a lava bucket in here? I do, hooray. Perfect. So, get myself an iron band, dark matter, and string. Gives us the black hole band. Just a simply basic and awesome little toy. Great to have around when you want it. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and it has only one simple function. If I run downstairs here, and let's check on the progress of our little system. Oh yeah, big old mess going on, right? If I activate the black hole band by pressing the G key, it starts sucking stuff in from a heck of a distance away. Sweet. And what I can do right now is go in here and grab my input chest, which is tied up to the chest upstairs, right? Oh, right. Heh, can't put it in that room. I'm thinking right here might be a good spot. And you can see, if I go out into zoomed out mode here, how funny it looks when stuff's swirling all around me. Hopefully that's visible on YouTube. Oh, right, I can't place down lights either. Ha ha ha. But if it doesn't have anywhere to fit in my inventory, yeah, it's going to be whizzing all around me. So if I deactivate this with G, everything goes flying. Lots of fun, that toy. So for now, I'm just going to start dumping this stuff in here. No, not my bucket. Oh well, sure, why not? Go ahead, process the bucket. There you go, have at it. And then I can just suck stuff up again. And it looks like my filler just finished clearing out this room. So, ooh, look at that, a nice little cave down here. Sweet. And I filled up my inventory again. So why don't I make a little bit of a cleanup in here. Don't want to have quite such a big mess. I'll get some lights going, and I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, so I want to try and do something a little aesthetic here. You know how much I suck at that. But I made the components here to make some lumar here. And I'm going to be making some more of these white lamps. I think they look pretty nice. Boom, good to go. So I got a good amount of lamps here, and I'm also producing some red alloy ingots. And I have in my bag a nice little diamond handsaw and some stone. And I'm just going to grab about 10 of these guys, I think should do it. And I'll get as many stone slabs as I can out of that, as many stone panels as I can out of that, and as many stone covers as I can out of that. Very nice. Put my diamond handsaw back, and by now I should be pretty close to getting some red alloy ingots. So why don't I just slice this guy up like so, in preparation for my red alloy ingots. There we go. And there we go, 10 of those guys. Perfect. Put them in the middle now, and I've got some more of this stone jacketed wiring. Very cool stuff. You can see I'm about to use it in conjunction with a white lamp here. And I've got some red alloy on me. And let's head down to our room here and see what we can do about lighting this place up, because it's a pretty big room. And the nice thing about red power is it gives us a lot of options when it comes to lighting options. So let's see. Where would I like to place this? First I'm going to activate my Swift Pulse Rending Gale here. Nice thing I have that ready. And let's run some of this wiring down like so. I'm trying to decide exactly where I want to lay it out. Let me do some math on this room and make it look a little good. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so basically what I'm thinking here is something along these lines. This is going to represent where my lighting system is going to be. And as I think I've mentioned in 1 or 2 episodes, I like to kind of do like representations using cobble, just so I can build it out in my head, make sure I'm happy with the way everything looks, that kind of good stuff. So that's where all my lights are going to be. I think that's good enough spacing that it's not like an absurd amount of resources, but at the same time, it should provide enough lighting for the room. That doesn't look too bad, too, in terms of an aesthetic point, simply because on the outer edges here, you know, they're 1 block away from the wall, and they're always 3 blocks apart by 3 blocks apart, and on the other sides of the walls they're touching the wall. So that's kinda cool looking. And I'm going to use my stone jacketed wiring here, because basically what I want to do is run something like this. Now let me see how high up I can get before I hit the upper decks of this flooring. Oh yeah, plenty of room. That should be more than enough to do what I need to do. So what I'm basically going to do here is run, I'll have my smooth stone hanging out, right? And then from there I'm going to run down some stone jacketed wiring. And let's do it like this, right? Maybe 3 down and a lamp. Whoops. Ha! Wrong thing to take off the hotbar, right? And then maybe 2 down and a lamp? Or is that a little bit too close to the ground? Yeah, I don't like that. So let's break that off a little bit. Maybe 2 down and then 2 down and a lamp. So let's pick up this stuff again that I just collected here as junk. There we go, so 2 down and a lamp, and 2 down and a lamp. I think that might look pretty good. Now, the ultimate test is, will this actually work? So what I need to do is get up onto the roof of the flooring here, place down, and I'm sorry it might be a little bit dark, but basically place down some unjacketed wiring, like so, and maybe a redstone torch, which I probably have one hanging out right up here, like that. So that might transmit the power. Okay, it doesn't. So I'll probably have to do something like this. I can break this guy off, get my stone jacketed wire up here like so, and maybe run some redstone along here. Will that work? There we go. Looks like it's not going to transmit the energy through the glass. Let me come up with a little bit of a different plan then. Alright, so I've made the decision to only go with 1 light hanging from the ceiling. Now let's see how this is going to look when we cover up the wall up here. I'm going to have to just move this guy over to like that. And I'll use a stone jacketed wire to get up here. And if we just do something like this, and then the stone jacketed like here. Ooh, see how nice that looks? That looks awfully pretty. I like it. So I'm basically going to just be filling in here. I don't think I'm going to actually have the ones touching the walls. I don't like them being there, like right up against the wall, and I don't think it's necessary. I think this is projecting enough light, so I'll probably just wind up going, you know, either the 4 in the middle here, or maybe I'll go out to this far on the walls, but we'll see how it looks with a handful in the middle. Let me get these 4 in the middle done, and I'll be right back. Alright, so made a little progress here. Got some lighting going on. Believe me, it was very boring. You didn't miss anything. It took me a while just to get this all laid out properly and set up upstairs to make sure all the wiring is good. But for the most part, it's just like you saw me build the first one. Some red jacketed wire connected to some redstone wire, and it's all running over to one thing here. I'm feeling like it's not terribly bright enough in here, so I might want to bring down 2 more on this side and 2 more on this side. I'm going to do that now and see how it winds up looking. Alright guys, that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? I like the way that little lighting system works. Not bad at all. Now I'm probably just going to install some lights on the sides of the room here just to help give it a little bit more brightness. But for now I think I'll leave it as is. I think it's bright enough. I wish, unfortunately, you can't make things much brighter than these guys are. I think it's like a hard-coded thing or something like that within Minecraft that there's like a limit to how bright things can get. But for now, I think that's pretty good. So why don't I clean up the flooring mess that I made up here, and I'll be back shortly to start up on this nuclear reactor. Alright guys, so let's get building the beginnings of our nuclear reactor. The first thing I need to build is a reactor chamber. And for that, I'm going to need about 16 of these guys. So let's get that request going. I'm also going to need at least 2 machine blocks for the time being. There they are. 2 of those, please. And I grabbed myself a good amount of copper. I'm going to need that. And I'm also going to need some cooling cells. And in order to get some cooling cells, I'm going to get some empty cells. Let's get about 16 of them for now, I think. And I'm probably going to have to build a system to figure out exactly how I want to make this. So let me think for a few minutes about how I'm going to do these cells. And in the meantime, I'm going to be compressing the mixed metal ingots that I just created and getting ready to get these cooling cells ready. Alright guys, so I'm thinking about how I want to craft this little recipe here, and I know that I've got this nice little chest up here that holds all my water buckets. I'm going to knock this guy off here. That's that ender chest system. And I'm also going to go into this automatic crafting table and take out all the components. I'm going to knock him off as well. Get him back. And then I'm going to go and knock off the automatic crafting pipe that I've got there. And I think I'm going to replace it and place it right about... I'm just clearing out a little bit of space here. Ooh, close one. Almost made a little problem. That's fine. And let's see, I'm thinking I might want to put my battery recipe up there, actually. So let's go ahead and place this chest back up here. This is going to be tricky. There we go. This guy. And that's going to be my new battery recipe. So let's get the battery recipe out of here and put him in there. And the crafting pipe right on it. And then my wrench hooks everything back up. Import, battery, good to go. This chest, which is now empty, is going to be the recipe, what was it? The corners here like that, I think. And the water bucket. There we go, for bog earth. And I'm going to tell this guy the same deal. Import, but get rid of the water bucket. Then I'm going to place down my chest right here. That's my ender chest. So now this setup should work again. Bog earth, back to being up here. And we've got the dirt and sand equals bog earth recipe. And then I'm going to place down a new automatic crafting table. So let's get myself one. Auto crafting table, please. Thank you. And I'm going to place it right next to it. And I'm also going to go ahead and request a, let's say, I need an empty cell. There it is, one of those, please. And I'll steal out of here a water bucket, and I'll go replace it later. Actually, I think I had one in here. Do I have any empty buckets? Nah. I'll make a new one and place it in there later. Not a big deal. And then next to this guy, I'm going to place a new automatic crafting table, as promised. And that guy is basically going to be water bucket plus empty cell equals water cell. Pretty straightforward. But when I place down my basic logistics pipe, or my crafting logistics pipe that is, you guys should be up to speed on these guys enough by now to know that I'm going to want to tell this guy that the only thing he needs is an empty cell. So that way, empty cell goes in, water cell comes out. So let's give it a shot, shall we? Go over here and request a water cell. One, please. And an empty cell should be the only thing that flies down here. Goes right in that auto crafting table and comes out as a water cell. And it's going to steal the water out of one of these buckets. So I've just kind of double dipped into the ender chest here to get, you know, water buckets and whatnot. So now I've got a way of producing water cells. Next, I want to go ahead and add another teleportation line to this guy. So let's grab our item teleport pipes. And I'm going to call this guy, oh, I don't even know what I'm at by now. 17, looks like the next one available. Receiving true, of course. And I'm going to run upstairs. And what I want to do here is grab from my bag of tricks an electric wrench. And I'm going to actually swap the position of my centrifuge extractor and my singularity compressor. And I'm really going to hope that neither one of those guys had any issues being broken. Singularity compressor, oh, of course, the centrifuge extractor broke. Oh well, let me replace it. And of course, because Optifine is funny like that sometimes, it, you know, didn't behave. But let me go ahead and fix this up. I'll be right back. Alright, so just waiting on a electronic circuit. There it is. And I can make myself a new extractor, advanced, electrolyzed cells. Didn't want to have to do this, but of course, bad luck on my part. A couple people have mentioned that there is a mod out there, by the way, guys, and not sure if you're interested in this, that gives you basically 100% wrench rate, so that you never ever break a block when you use a wrench. That's what I say to that. I understand there's a mod out there for it. Not needing it that badly at the moment. You know, who knows. Now, what I'm going to do with this, now that I have this guy actually set up properly, is build myself another basic logistics pipe, and I don't have what I need, do I? No. I know I dropped it on the ground. I'll be right back for it. Don't worry. Where's my glowstone dust? Glowstone dust, anybody? What the heck? Just give me a whole glowstone, please. Now, let's try that again. I'm going to go ahead and break this guy down into glowstone dust. One crafting pipe, and the teleport pipe. Now I'm going to place the crafting pipe here, the teleport pipe here, and set this guy back up to the same frequency I had before, 17. Cool. Now I can put this guy in here, and let's go ahead and in the centrifuge extractor, place one of these water cells. And what happens is a water cell, when placed in a centrifuge extractor, becomes a coolant cell. However, there's a reason that I'm doing this the way I'm doing it, and that's because coolant cells don't stack. Do not stack at all. Big, huge, annoying problem. So imagine how fun it is to run around and try and get all the coolant cells that you need for the nuclear reactor. And you might quickly realize why I went ahead and made this system to automatically craft cooling cells. Because now what I can do, as soon as I get myself a new water cell, tick-tock, tick-tock, there it is just go ahead and over here and say, hey wrench, if I place a water cell in here, I should get a coolant cell. Let's give it a shot, shall we? If I go over and request it now, I should be able to very quickly say, give me 2 coolant cells, and what they'll do is, if I don't have any regular cells built, I already have the recipe for those, and the regular cells will zip in there, get the water out of the ender chest, and send the water cells along the line into the centrifuge extractor. And they went into the bad. I need them to go into the top, don't I? Yeah. Let's try that again. I'm going to break this guy. Unfortunately, you're going to have to see this, but we'll live. Go ahead and do this here. I could just put this guy out here. It doesn't really matter. And we'll just make this guy say frequency 17, receive true, wrench, coolant cell, water cell, good to go. Let's try that once more, requesting 2 more coolant cells. Coolant cell request. Again, water gets sucked out of the ender chest bucket here thing that provides buckets for me. And that'll tell us that our water cells got crafted. And then we can come over here just in time to see those water cells zip in there, and the coolant cells will get sucked back out and sent through my deployer system, and should eventually make their way out here to this guy. Ta-da! I like it. Alright guys, so I've got the basic building blocks that I need for a nuclear reactor. Why don't I get that guy ready, and then I'm going to wrap up the episode. Okay, so the first thing I need to build is about 8 of these neat little machines. Integrated reactor platings. And you're going to quickly notice that the horrible fact is that these things also do not stack. Quite a nuisance. So let's clean up our inventory a little bit here. I'll throw some glowstone dust in here, these basic logistics pipes. Don't need this string, that's a big old mess. Dirt and cobble, why not? Get rid of you. That's probably good for now. Let me throw some water cells in there. Why not? Oh yeah, I can move my wrench in there too. Cool. Item teleport pipes. Alright, so back to making these integrated reactor platings. Cool. Got about 8 of those guys hanging out at the moment. And 2 of them are going to need to be upgraded. They need to be made with some advanced circuits. And I don't quite have a crafting table yet for advanced circuits, but it might be an idea for me to do. So let me get 2 of these guys. I'm actually going to need 4, I believe. And I might as well grab myself some lappies. I'm going to need about 8 of you. Glowstone dust I'm going to need 8 of, and I think I have a good amount of redstone on me, maybe? No, but I can make some real quick. I'll just place some Mobius in there. Plenty of redstone now, right? Alright, so let's upgrade all 4 of these guys to advanced. There we go. Advanced circuits. 2 of them up top with copper on the sides. Going to need one of these integrated reactors and some coolant cells, and that's going to get me an integrated heat disperser. I'm going to need 1 more of these real quick, so let me get myself 2 more coolant cells out of my little chest here. There we go. And this guy in the middle. That makes the second integrated heat disperser. Now I need to take a machine block and an integrated heat disperser on the top, these 4 advanced alloys here, and then integrated reactor platings on the sides. That's going to get me my very first reactor chamber. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing to get my second reactor chamber. Bada bing, bada boom. Excellent. Now I take the reactor chambers and I combine them to make my very first nuclear reactor. In the nuclear reactor recipe, I'm going to need these 2 guys here. I'm also going to need, I believe, a generator, which I have one of those, or I can at least create. And I believe I need 4 more of those advanced alloys. So let's grab those real quick. And while I'm waiting for them to craft, I'm pretty sure I've got a generator hanging out in my industrial craft chest. Yeah, I could have requested it, but whatever. Now, those guys are getting ready to craft, so generator goes here. We need some reactor chambers, some advanced electronic circuits, and now I just need those 4 mixed metal ingots. There we go. Place them in this guy, and around the sides. Pretty expensive, but now I've got a nuclear reactor. Woot. I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to place down the nuclear reactor exactly where I want to have it. I'm thinking my first nuclear reactor chamber should probably be about here. That's a good spot. And I'll place the nuclear reactor like so. And I feel like this is a good wrapping up point, I'm sorry to say. I know I'm just getting to the nuclear reactor, but it's in a good position. Got my room built, added some stuff to that building system upstairs. I might go ahead and add advanced circuits to the autocrafters. Maybe I'll do that off camera real quick. But I feel like it's a good wrapping up point now. This episode's getting a little bit long. So this has been Direwolf20's Let's Play, episode 37. Hope you guys enjoyed checking it out. Episode 38 will feature me getting more work done on this nuclear reactor. So stay tuned for that. Take it easy, guys.